Hi, everybody. It is Stacey Calder from the Business Success Network and Magazine. We are on the final stretch now. We have got 9 days to go until our National Recognition Awards. And I'm so excited to keep bringing these lives with the sponsors to you. So we have got a special lady with me today on the couch, on the online couch, if you like. But what I want to say is hello and welcome. If you're watching this on our main Facebook page, do get yourself into the Business Success Network UK community group, Facebook group, whatever you want to call it. There's such a hive of activity going on in there. There's lots of awards chatter, as well as your everyday kind of business support and stuff like that. So do come and join us in there. If you're watching this in one of our communities, because I'm about to share it over, then hello and welcome. Do say hello. Do come and give us your questions. Come and say good morning. I'm going to invite Dill in a minute, and honestly, I'm guessing you guys are going to have some amazing questions for her. So please do drop your questions, and we will get them answered. I will ask them live if they pop up. If you're watching it on replay, then hashtag replay so that we know that you are checking in, and we can come back and answer any questions that you've got with us. So without further ado, Dill is one of our silver sponsors, so she wanted to go big with this. She was like, yep, we met through networking this year, I think I'm going to say. Might have been the end of last year, but we have, I just love her. Love her. So I'm going to introduce her, because otherwise I get to keep it all to myself, and we don't want that. Hi, Dill.
Hello there, how are you?
I'm good. So you don't need to panic, because when I brought you in, there was no diamond Giza written across your screen.
Thank goodness for that.
We know you're on your son's laptop today, and that was just, we were talking backstage, and it was so funny because she said, "Oh, on my son's laptop, it might come up diamond Giza." I was almost tempted to get you a big banner with it, but I'm not that techie, so I won't.
Glad to hear it. Lovely to be here, by the way. Really.
Well,
really
I'm so pleased I get to introduce you to the Business Success Network, and those guys that are watching further afield. So because you are quite a new member to the group, you're definitely a new sponsor for this year as well. Do you want to start by giving everyone a bit of an introduction into you, your background, your business, and kind of where they can find you and stuff?
Yeah, no problem. So my name is Dill Morris. Everybody knows me as Dill, and I work as a divorce coach. My background is I used to be a solicitor for some 20 years. And I decided to leave all that behind, sell my business, and move more into divorce coaching, which is a more subtle approach and a more amicable approach when it comes to divorce. Lots of people get divorced, more than you actually think. And the kind of horror stories I saw when I worked as a solicitor, I just really felt that I couldn't give them the real support that they needed, because solicitors don't do that. It's very very clinical. Yes, we're going to do this, X, Y, and Z. But when it's something like that, and I myself have been through a divorce, so I can resonate with it, you need that extra touch. And as a solicitor, I just couldn't provide that.
It's such an emotional time, I'm guessing, that, and solicitors do have to be quite clinical, I would imagine, to get the job done, to get the outcome that you want. But it is a really emotional time, especially if it's not a clear cut, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's really, you're right, Stacey. It's so upsetting. And not only that, because it's so emotional, it just takes over an individual's life. You can't eat, you don't go out, you stop taking care of yourself. So there's all these knock-on effects that it sort of affects your life in so many ways. You stop going out with your friends, you stop taking phone calls. So, I'm there to support and put into place an action plan with the divorce itself. But any legal advice is sought from solicitors that I work very closely with. So I don't give legal advice anymore. I can't. But legal advice is close on hand with regards to what we're doing and how we're going to get there. And my clients are very, very well supported, out of hours, bank holidays, you name it, I'm there for them. So it's a very bespoke service that I offer.
And did this service, you mentioned there you've been divorced yourself, was this something that happened because of your experience of divorce? Was it something that you thought actually this was the missing part?
I think when I worked as a solicitor, and I did a little bit of family work, but not massively. And the times I was a criminal defense lawyer, so I used to defend
That
people.
sounds like we all really want to get into that nitty gritty.
Yeah, so but that's been a good sort of background for this work as well. But going back to your question, Stacey, yes, I think when I did take over and step into colleagues' shoes when they were on holiday and I was managing their caseload, you know, like a guy or a lady or a man would walk in and explain what was happening in their divorce. And I just wanted to go over to them and give them a hug and say, right, yep, don't worry, I can do this, I can do that, I'll do this, and you need to do. But I just felt restrained as a solicitor. I just felt I couldn't offer what I needed to offer, and I think so that was that was a little bit of sort of why I wanted to do divorce coaching. And also through my own divorce, being a solicitor, I thought, oh, I'll be able to handle this, I'm quite a strong person. But no, when it actually when it's affecting you, I just thought I can't cope with this. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to deal with it. I just can't cope. So I think those two factors together, putting it together and moving forward, that's why, and that's how divorce coaching sort of came about, really.
I think it's fascinating. I think it's a great service and a great idea. Interestingly, I feel like the awards are at either end of a romantic scale at the moment, because our gold sponsor that I interviewed last week, Kissinger, she does matchmaking like on a global scale. So we've got like we can go from matchmaking right the way through to getting you a nice, comfortable divorce if we need it. There's like no stone unturned with these awards this year.
Or the other way around, Stacey. I could take, people getting divorced. So I've got loads of people who I now know who are eligible divorcees, then looking for love. So we'll go the other way around.
Well, do you know what? That's really funny, actually. And you just reminded me that when I was interviewing her, she said she'd love to speak to solicitors. So, because I always ask the question, who would you like to connect with? And she said, divorce coaches. And I went, we've got one. We've literally got one in our network. I said, you need to meet Dill on the night. I'll introduce you.
That'd
because exactly what you said. She's trying to give people the confidence to get back out there, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, you two will be a great connection for each other. And this is what I love about the awards is, people think, oh, it's a business awards, and it absolutely is. But there are so many different businesses out there, so many unique connections that you just don't know. The first year we had I wouldn't say graphic designer, not a graphic designer, a fashion designer. And he said, I don't know if this is going to work for me. And we were like, yeah, we can promote anyone, we can help anyone. Come and join us. And next thing you know, he's London Fashion Week dressing a celebrity. So it was just fantastic.
And didn't he dress you as well, Stacey? I think
he did the first year. Yeah. I had a custom made dress, which I have to say was both absolutely petrifying and took me really out my comfort zone. Let's face it, I am a larger lady. And so to have a man measuring me was just, I was just like, absolutely petrifying. Now I can filter away on these things, but deep down we all have our insecurities, don't we?
Oh, no,
so I'm thinking, who am I to get a custom made dress? Oh my God, it was just, the whole experience was lovely. Brilliant. He was fantastic. The dress was amazing. I was slightly worried at some points that I might, show a bit too much, but we were okay. So yeah, that was a lovely experience. And he dressed a couple of others in the room as well.
Wow.
So, he went and got all his marketing assets. We'd got the photographer there. It was just fantastic. Have you got your dress ready, Dill?
Well, I'm toying with the idea. I've got one in mind, but I think having said what you just said, I think I might just wear it. But I just think it might be a bit too blingy.
No, there's no such thing as too blingy. Honestly, people say to me all the time, oh, it says black tie. What does that mean? Or, do we have to do black tie if we're a man? I say dress to impress. Come in whatever makes you comfortable. Obviously not jeans and trainers, because then people
No,
might
I
stand
won't
up.
do that.
But we've had ball gowns, we've had sequins. Honestly, we've had just the most gorgeous things, and it's absolutely what you feel comfortable in. In fact, I saw Edwina Clark, I don't know if you know her. She put a post up from 2 years ago when she won one of the awards.
Wow.
And she'd said, I don't do dresses at all, they're not my style, what can I wear? And I said, do whatever you feel comfortable. And she came, and her post today was, I went shopping in the men's department of Next, and she bought a 3-piece suit. It was gorgeous on her. It looked amazing. But she said, it doesn't have to be what everyone else is doing. So yeah, absolutely wear it. I want to see your
I'll see. It might be a bit of bling with a bit of Asian twist, to it. So
well, do you know what? And I would never want to offend anybody or do anything wrong, but I went to an awards last week, and it was at the local polo club, and they do quite a lot of Asian events, and the meal was very Asian based, and there was a lady there who had the most gorgeous, now I don't know if it was a traditional Asian outfit or whether it was she'd deliberately kind of gone for that style, but I looked at it and I genuinely was looking at dresses the other day thinking they're just so beautiful. I would love something, but again, wouldn't want to offend anyone, wouldn't want to get it wrong. And
no, you wouldn't offend anyone. We'll have to take you. We'll have to take you down Soho Road in Hammersmith, in Birmingham. We'll have to go on a shopping day. Yeah, definitely kick you out.
But I just saw it and I thought it's so different. It's so different. Beautiful. And she nailed it as well. She absolutely carried it off. But yeah, we've had sponsors before come in traditional dress and not traditional dress, and open to everyone. It's just
great. That's good to know.
It's just fantastic. So yeah, a bit of bling then, Dill.
Okay, I can deliver bling.
I'll deliver a bit of bling. So speaking of, we've talked a bit about, connections and things there. You're part of One Networking, so I know quite a few people that are going. Is there anyone that you haven't yet met that maybe you've seen online that you're thinking, I know they're going, I'd love to meet them? Or is there a type of person that you'd like to connect with? Who is it? Who am I going to say, we're networking in that event, and I'm going to go, oh, Dill, you need to meet such and such. Who's it going to be?
I think with the line of business I do, and because it's very personal, everybody knows somebody who's either going through a divorce or unhappy with their marriage or relationship. So
you don't want them forming a queue, though, do you, Dill?
Yeah, I think there's no one business. I mean, sometimes it's going to be just wonderful to meet everyone that we see online that I've not met in person. So that's going to be an experience in its own right. But I'll tell you one thing where I really want to set up my stall one day, and the rest of the one-enners who know me always laugh at me for saying this, but I really want to set up my stall at a wedding fair and then get booed out of there, because I just want to see their reaction. Where all these couples are dreamily walking around in love, getting their, looking at cakes.
Actually, I wonder how many of their friends and family that are being dragged around a wedding fair are thinking, oh, I don't want to do this.
Yeah. So they could maybe come and have a cup of tea with me or a bit of bubbly with me. But do you know what, Stacey? At a wedding fair, I'm probably the most important. I'm not going to, I don't big myself up normally, but I'm going to say this, that I'm probably going to be the most important person there. And they won't want to come and speak to me, clearly, because they're all loved up. But we can do things that safeguards them, like financially, and give them some information to consider, like if it did go wrong, or how can they manage it if it did, what can we put in place for them at this stage as they embark upon hopefully what will be a fantastic marriage. I mean, I have people come to me who want to have a divorce, but then once we actually sit down and go through information and dig deep with regards to everything, they actually say, I've had couples that say, well, actually, no, we don't want to get married. We don't want to get divorced. And I say, that's absolutely fine. And then we do a little bit of relationship work and get that relationship back on track. I've had couples that have gone on to have another child after the marriage has been on the rocks. So, nothing is impossible. But what I will say is what the work I do, it won't fit every couple, because it's not one size fits all approach. It can't be, because we're all different. We all bring different personalities to the table. Different situations.
It must be lovely for you, though, when you get a couple that think, that let's face it, a lot of people won't know about divorce coaching. They'll just head, like you say, break up, right, solicitor, this is it. Or they try and work it out online, and then it all goes horribly wrong,
Yeah.
But to have them sit down with you at a point where they think that they want to get divorced, and then work with you in a way that actually makes them see, I'm guessing down to communication, etc.
Everything is down to communication.
100%. That they then actually turn their life around to the point where they're happy again, they're together. And whether that means another child, they're still married, the fact that they're not going through that divorce is quite beautiful.
Yeah. So we can turn things around. So just because you come to a divorce coach doesn't mean you're going to get divorced. It's just highlighting that things aren't right in a relationship. Can we put this back on track, or is it severed? Do we have to move on? I mean, I've just finished a divorce with a couple, and that had so many like twists and turns and ups and downs, and I felt I was on a roller coaster myself. But we got them over the line and had such a lovely voicemail message, because I couldn't answer the call from the husband, who said, Dill, I just wanted to tell you first, and I didn't want to do it over a voicemail. Subsequently we spoke, but he just said, I wanted you to be the first to know that I got my final order, and I just wanted to say I feel like you saved my life. So that was like brought a tear to my eye, because it's for me as well, it's so emotional. And for them
not everything has that happy ending, does it? But from what I know of you, from what you've discussed, from what you said, you try and make it as amicable or as easy as possible, even when at the start, let's face it, sometimes it could be far from that. And that, like I said, I take my hat off to you, because it's such an emotional time for them. How you switch off at night, I don't know sometimes, because you must feel like well, for them, definitely, it's all encompassing, isn't it? And so for you to work through that with them is amazing.
No, it is a lovely feeling to be able to get, because I sort of work backwards. I'll say, right, what do you want? What's your ideal situation? And if a guy or a lady says to me, like, I just want to be divorced, I want to move on, I feel like I've outgrown this relationship, doesn't mean that I don't love them anymore. I still love them, but I just feel like I've outgrown it. And I say, okay. And that's good. It's good in the sense that if we can talk amicably and sensibly about the finances, about the children and the way forward and what we're trying to achieve, I can save, and I do save couples thousands and thousands of pounds with solicitors. Clearly the legal work has to be done by them and what couples are entitled to. But sometimes there's almost a conflict of interest, because solicitors will be saying, you can go for X, Y, Z. And the wife or the husband might be saying, yeah, I want X, Y, Z, but they don't need X, Y, Z. And it's all about what that couple needs to be able to move on. Because remember, even when children are involved, just because you're divorced doesn't mean your relationship ends. They're still going to be there. So if it can be amicable, it's less stressful. And I accept that it's not always amicable, even after the divorce is finalized. It is difficult, especially when you move on with new partners. But time is a great healer. And I've had some really lovely results. And hopefully it's a service that I provide that will grow. and get stronger. And so I advise anybody to, if they're thinking about it, or just even thinking about it, to come and have a chat with me. I do a no obligation chat, and it might be that you don't want to, which is fine, but it might be just that first step where we can just put an action plan into place and go from there at their own pace. It's no problem for me.
And that's a really great way of doing it, actually, because I've seen a couple of posts this week where, you know, they're talking about leaving, but even that first step of, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go, I don't even know how to start this process. Actually, to have somebody to emotionally be there for you while you do would be amazing. Dill, where can people find you? Where's the best place for them to go?
They can go to my website. I've got a website. They can find me on Google. That, and I've got a Facebook page, so they can find me all over. But if they just put in Dill Morris, they'll find me on Google, and that'll take them straight to my website where there's testimonials from other clients that I've looked after, giving their sort of testimonials on how they felt and how they felt working with me and moving forward.
Amazing. And the business name is D Divorce Coaching, isn't it?
Yeah,
so go and check that out. Go and have a look. Next time you hear somebody saying, "Oh, I'm going through a divorce," oh, I'm, you know, send them to Dill, because it's worth that conversation. I can't wait to see you at the awards. I'm a hugger. I'm going to come and get a big squeeze from
Brilliant.
you.
Looking forward to it.
I can't wait to meet your dad as well, because I know how proud he is of you, and you know, we've been talking about it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him and your husband as well. So
yeah, they'll all be there. They'll all
be there cheering you on.
It's going to be a fantastic evening. It's going to be so lovely to see lots of different businesses there and all the hard work that they put in, you know, to achieve what they have. It's going to be a really excellent night. And thanks to you, Stacey, for organising such a wonderful event. I'm really looking forward to it.
I am. I mean, every year we say, wow, we've done it again. But it is just seeing all of those small businesses in that room. And, you know, everyone in that room is a winner, let's face it, because, you know, to get into that room amongst all of those businesses in the UK is just fantastic. But we couldn't do it without our sponsors, Dill, one of which is you. So thank you very, very much. You're going to be presenting one of the awards on the night. Yeah, and as I said, silver sponsor. So do check Dill out. Her details are going to be in the awards booklet. There'll be lots going on. So yeah, do go and see Dill on the night and connect with her beforehand, because we love Dill. We love her, and we're so glad to be part of this network. Right then, Dill, thank you very much. As I said, guys, if you've been watching this, please do drop your questions below. We'll come back and answer them as they show up. And if you've been watching this on replay, then #replay, so that we know you visited us. Dill, thank you so much for joining us. I keep thinking it's Friday.
It does feel like a Friday.
It does a bit. Like I said, I was away at a Tomicon conference, and my days are now just all muddled up. I think I just need to go to bed, which we will not do, because I'm going to be dropping some new awards news later on today. So watch out for that. Dill, once again, thank you so much. And I will speak to you very soon.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
Bye all.
See you later.